Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Still early in the morning here in the UK. I can tell you I've got my coffee here. So get one as well, and then we'll take a look at Bitcoin because it's been a little bit all over the place. Had a bit of volatility around the weekly candle close. As I said, that is what we have seen in the last few weeks as well. And it's good to see that that played out again. So it is going up a little bit. We see some altcoins recover a little bit, pretty much as expected. As said in the last videos that a lot of the altcoins are now oversold, and while we can still expect lower prices in the short term, we are probably see some recovery here. We are probably going to see some recovery, including Bitcoin, of course, which I do expect to go to that wave 2 target area, but it's too early to talk about that. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing. In terms of the wave 2 target area, that is what I mean, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. Let's take a look first at the weekly candle close. So, as already posted earlier to the Telegram channel members and also here on YouTube, what I said is that we had a risk that we could have 5 weekly candle closes in a row, and there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hasn't had the same thing for, I think, over 6 years or something. I think, no, even longer. I think 2014 was the last time Bitcoin had 5 red weekly candle closes. It also closed now the second weekly below this channel. I mean, as I said before, there's a different way of drawing this now. If you want to use the wicks here, we can draw it like that, and there you go. Suddenly you have a new channel, but how valid that is, I don't know. Don't really want to edit because this seems to me more relevant, especially on the daily. But there you go. But yeah, weekly candle close. We're still in the wedge. Let's take a look at that on the daily. As you can see, we are still, or even better on the 4-hour, we are still in that descending wedge. But when the weekly candle hit, and that was, even before that, wasn't it? Let's go to the 1-hour chart. Right, I think that was after my last update video about Bitcoin, or when I made the last update video, we saw the price climb. And then, okay, so around this is what happened here after the weekly candle close. We saw prices increase further. Had a bit of a counter reaction here exactly after the candle close, but then continued to climb until basically now, and we're getting close to the resistance level. And that isn't at the moment nothing surprising because we are still in the wedge. So naturally you go up and down in the wedge. So that is when you hit support and you don't break it, you expect the price to move up. And then if we don't break here the 39.2k, which is resistance, yeah, it has been support before, then we are going to go down again and could make a lower low. That would hurt the altcoins probably again. We could then get down to around 37.5 again. This is what we now need to see, how the price is going to react to 39.2. If it gets above that level, it has another chance to get back into the channel, and that is what at some point here I expect to get into that wave 2 target area. Of course, that won't happen as long as we are still caught in the wedge. So we have to wait here for a signal. We have to wait for the breakout. When that happens, it's all speculation. So we need to wait for a clear signal of the market here. And as soon as we break above this wedge, which is pretty much now at the 39.2k level, that is the first signal. And then we could really get into that wave 2 target area, which is located between 42 and 46k. I think I might need to move it now, because the lower we go, the more I have to move that wave 1 as well. Let me draw the fibs again. Let's assume that we have come down to the low now. And then where I have that wave 2 positioned is between the 38.2% fib level and the 78.6. So I don't move it much here, but it's between 41.6 now. Just thinking, is that correct? Yeah, between 41.6 and 46k. Unless I'm making a mistake here. I think I had it differently on the live stream. I think I made a mistake on the live stream probably, but no, this is how it should be, because you wait for the retracement of the entire wave 1. So yeah, it is here between 41.6 and pretty much 46k. That is where we would expect the wave to go into. Quite a large area, but we need to see how the price is going to react to it in order to establish how far in it will go. So we are waiting for that. At the moment, I think it's looking like we're going to make an attempt to get to the 39.2, and we'll then see if we are going to break through here or not. Okay. At some point, I think we should, because we will need to make that 39 point, we need to make that wave 2 counter reaction. Yeah. In the short term, and that is what I explained yesterday as well, you have the chance to move still a bit lower. So technically, in this first wave, you can, in terms of the target for the 5th wave of that wave 1, yeah, we can even go a little bit lower. We have space all the way down to the region of 35k. Based on the Fibonacci extensions here, we could even get to the 300% Fibonacci extension without a problem. That is what Bitcoin has done in the past in a 5th wave. And before we then complete that higher degree wave 1, and we'll turn around into that wave 2. So that is what we need to keep an eye on. As with TA, we need to wait for a signal. We need to wait for that breakout. But that wave 2 move up is what I have to expect here at some point, because this would be the signal that we are on the right track, that we do this first and then come down in a wave 3, which should then take us even lower here than, for example, 34.4, should take us into the region of 32k, maybe even lower, before we then see a wave 4 correction. And in a final wave 5, already highlighted here, that we move into that target area between 20 and 29k. Overall, longer term outlook. Few people have asked me generally about a longer term outlook. Because apparently I'm not doing that too often. So let's take a look. Overall, longer term outlook. Overall, Bitcoin, in my view, is currently building its third 1-2 setup. I had a few questions about that. And that is related to the relationship between the waves. This here is a wave 1. This here was a wave 2. This here is another wave 1. This is another wave 2. This is another wave 1. This is another wave 2. This is nothing unusual with younger assets. You need these 1-2 setups in order to build a foundation for the future. Many young assets are doing it. Yeah, just look at young stocks and shares. They do that all over the place. They move up. They come down to areas around the 78.6 and the 88.7% Fibonacci level. Someone has asked me why I do start counting here the wave 1, but this here was a major swing low. I am counting the wave 1 because this here was not a wave 3 anymore. Yeah, you would have to count 1, 2, this as a 3. Then I would have to count probably all of this as a wave 4. But this doesn't work out because it just comes down too far. The only thing that I would be possibly happy with, yeah, is to count it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is what I could imagine might be correct as well. That is an alternative, but it would be even more bearish. Yeah, it would be even more bearish. You cannot count this here as the wave 4. I have big problems with that. I have big problems with that. It might look like, if you use a log chart, it might look like that, but I don't like using the log chart. It distorts the waves. Yeah, it distorts the waves. If we do it like that, that would be the only thing that I can imagine might be another valid wave count. And then we're currently coming down here in an ABC. A, B, C. Well, but if that happens, and if we draw the Fibonacci levels like that, then, you know, that there's even a chart, because this would complete this would complete a wave 5. Yeah, so you normally would come down quite a bit. Yeah, you might even come down then into the region of 11,000 to 17,500. So it would be even more bearish. Currently, I stick with my current scenario. I think it is likely that all of these down here are 1-2 setups, 1-2, 1-2. This is because it's a completely different degree of wave, as you can see. Yeah, it's much higher. And we have seen these waves before in other assets, which also were 1-2s. Yeah, this is my view here, 1, 2, and then your next wave should be a wave 3 ideally, unless we build another 1-2, which is possible, but even then we should move higher and then come down again quite strongly in a wave 2. Possible, nobody knows that yet, and to a degree it is speculation, but what I can't see is that this here was a wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Many people count it like that. If you go to the log chart, oh, this messes it all up now. Let me go to another one. I know people count it like that. I've seen these counts before. I don't like to use the log chart for Elliott Wave analysis because it does exactly what we don't want in Elliott Wave analysis. It distorts the relationship between waves, which is so important. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks beautiful, I know it does, but from a relationship between waves, it doesn't connect with me. Probably a valid way of counting it on the log chart, absolutely. And time will only tell who's right. And, you know, it's just what it is. Yeah, time will tell that. Oops, that's a fractal from last time. Time will tell that. So that's my view here. And of course I can be wrong. And that's fine. You know, I can only tell you what I see in the chart and tell you the highest probability. Someone also asked me I should have an alternative on the chart. Well, I do have an alternative view. My alternative view is that we are coming down here. We are, if there is a spark of more bullishness in the chart, that we can move into this area between 55 and 65k. That would then be an alternative count, as I said, A, B, C. In this B wave, we could then move into the region here between 55 and 65k, but I would then expect the wave to turn around and still to end in this yellow area. As I said before, it's the same destination, just two different ways of getting there. So that is my alternative. Currently going to new all-time highs from here, I can't see it, at least not yet. I would probably change my view as soon as we see the first real impulse, because we haven't seen an impulse. This is clearly corrective still. Yeah, this is also why I don't think that that would be a wave 4 low. If it was a wave 4 low, we would now be in the wave 5 and we would need to see an impulse. We only see a correction at the moment. In addition to that, we are below the 200-day moving average. We are below the 1-year moving average. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it for me. So we'll see. Of course, don't only listen to one YouTuber. Don't only listen to me. Come to your own conclusions. That's why I try to explain things in these videos as well, just to try to help you, educate yourself, you know, to educate you as well, to point you in the right direction and so on, that you can come to your own conclusions. I think that is the ideal scenario. Yeah, but yeah, still waiting for the breakout of that wedge, and maybe we are going to see here a decision today. That will be interesting, moving further towards the resistance of the wedge. And as I said, 39.2 is the important level. If we don't break through here, we're probably going to go down to 37.5 again. As long as you are in a wedge or in a pattern, it's all speculation. Basically, we have to wait for a signal of the market so that it tells us in which way we will go, and then we can establish here the next targets. And the upside target you've got there, downside target, I said we can move down to 35k. The 300% Fibonacci extension goes down to 35.6. Thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.